You said cocaine.
It's called
You said cocaine.
a little bit of
My head, you said
I also heard
I heard.
Freudian slip.
All I heard
Can I get a
was.
bump? Four legs good, 2 legs bad. That's a lot of people. Warriors! Mission to go crazy. There you go. Welcome aboard.
Thanks very much. I don't know what to say. It's a very, very warm welcome and something that I'll never get used to. So I really appreciate your kindness. Thank you.
That's
Are
great.
we sitting?
Oh, yeah, sit whatever you like.
Perch up. Is that cool to sit?
Game of musical chairs right here.
I really appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you. Very kind of you.
Well, as I said off the top, I had the fortune to actually travel to London to visit the set up in Hertfordshire, if I'm saying that right.
Hertfordshire.
Hertfordshire?
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly, all right. Why was it so important to keep this franchise, filmed in London with British actors, and why do you think it turned out so much better than if it had perhaps been filmed in America through Hollywood?
I dare not even comment on that. No, as far as I know, it was just the request of J.K. Rowling. It was Rowling rather. It was always her intentions to keep it in England and to try and keep as many English people attached to it as possible. And we're very grateful because it's really done wonders for the English film franchise. Other than James Bond, we didn't really have much going for us, and Harry Potter's kind of taken over that. And it's been,
What's James Bond?
Don't worry about it. It's complicated.
What do you think? When Daniel Craig retires, should Tom Felton be the next James Bond? Get the campaign started. I want to ask you quickly about being in Canada. Do we have any interesting rituals or habits other than being in love with you?
You're a very interesting bunch, for sure. You're exceptionally generous, kind. I haven't met one person my whole time here who doesn't seem to be thrilled and excited and very smiley. So, not that I'm talking bad about other nations, but you guys particularly seem exceptionally happy. So, it's a great trait to have as a nation. The Canadians are a happy bunch, for sure. I will come back first chance I get, for sure.
We're actually very sad. It's just when you're around we get happy the rest of the time. Well, FanExpo is all about the fans, and you guys have waited to see Tom. So let's open the floor to questions. We do have our producer, Michelle.
Michelle's somewhere out there, jumping up.
There she is. She's got a question. Question for Mr. Felton.
Hi, Michelle.
I'm right here.
Where are you?
Michelle's our boss. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Please be nice to
Hello.
Michelle.
Hey.
Did you enjoy working with the other people on the set of Harry Potter?
Not really. There's only one answer to that, really, isn't there? Of course, yeah. I mean, not only the cast that you guys know and love, but also the crew as well. We were very, very blessed to have. It sounds very cheesy, but we were very much so a family. I grew up with a lot of the crew members and the cast as well. So it's only since finishing, actually, that I realised how extraordinarily lucky we were. These guys are not only my colleagues, but also some of my best friends. So I feel very lucky to have had the last 10 years with them.
And how are you doing in the wake of, you're not shooting these movies anymore? You've had some time to do other things. How is that making you feel these days?
It's depressing, I'm standing in a room just chanting spells at myself. No, it's cool. It's very different. It feels a bit like finishing university or school, I guess, in a strange way. And now we kind of graduated to the big bad world. But yeah, it's been fun. And like I say, the longer I spend away from it, the more I realise how incredibly lucky we were to be part of it. So yeah.
Well, congratulations on Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Whenever you were on screen, I was like, oh, I love Tom Felton, but I hate Dodge. Let's open the floor to some more questions. Michelle with the microphone. Oh, hey.
Hi, Tom.
Same neighborhood.
First, I'd like to say welcome to Toronto.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
My question for you is, do you get a lot of negativity for playing as a villain?
There's been a few hesitant 6-year-olds over the 3 days. Understandably so. I seem to make babies cry like no one else. They haven't even seen it and yet they hate me already. Yeah, it's very humbling actually. I've had lots of people, not only from Potter, but also from recently Rise of the Apes. I've had some names thrown at me over the last couple of weeks, usually heavily negative, but I take that as nothing but a compliment, you know. If you guys manage to hate me in those movies, then I must be doing something right, so.
Because you really are a nice guy.
Well, that's an act. More like Draco and Dodge. This is a whole. I like to think that I'm a world away from my characters that I've been lucky enough to play. I definitely don't share any character traits to Draco or Dodge for that matter. Yeah.
Can you talk just quickly about meeting Daniel, Rupert, and Emma for the first time and getting to know them 10 or 11 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's all a little hazy, but who can forget meeting those three? Oddly, my first ever audition, I believe, was with Emma. We had a whole row of young kids, and Emma was the girl standing next to me, and that was our very, very first audition, so it was quite weird coming back when we were all cast to see her again. Rupert was larger than life and funny as can possibly be. He's got comedic timing down to a key. And Daniel is Daniel. He's a larger than life, hugely intelligent. He was 12 going on 26 it seems. So yeah, he's a very special guy.
Cool. Back to the floor.
Michelle's over on the right side somewhere. I don't see her in the... Oh, she's jumping again by the light. You're always by the light. It's so hard to see. Here we go.
Hi, I have a non-Harry Potter question.
All right, let's try.
I know you're very involved with music and you have a company or something like that. And I was wondering if you actually have a CD or if you have anything online that we could maybe purchase so we could...
I've got a suitcase full of them. I'm selling them at the end of the show. I'm not, sorry, in case you're... Yeah, I have recorded some music. Music's always been something that's been fun for me, and I've been lucky enough to sort of learn to play guitar while waiting for scenes to happen and things like that. So it's been something that I've always been keen on doing. And yeah, there is some music online on YouTube and iTunes and stuff like that. So I appreciate any support. That's very kind of you.
Did you ever go see the wizard rock band Draco and the Malfoys?
I've heard of these guys. Yeah, I've actually spoken to a couple of them over the phone once. They have some strange song titles, but yeah, flattering nonetheless.
Matt Lewis, who plays Neville Longbottom, was in Toronto not too long ago, and he plays music as well.
Hear it from Matt Lewis, come on.
Any chance we'll ever see a Draco Neville combo song together? Collaboration?
Possibly.
Oh! You did not rule it out.
I did not rule it out, no. Matthew's a dear friend of mine, and yeah, you know, Draco and Neville, they're really cut from the same cloth.
Right, yeah, very similar.
When you think about it. No, it was nice to see him come into his heroic fashion in the last two films, definitely.
Back to the floor.
Hi, Tom. Do you find the transition from children's films into adult films difficult?
Not really. We've never really looked at Harry Potter films as being for children, I don't think. We always just saw them as stories, and excuse me, obviously as Harry was, when he was younger, generally the theming of the stories were for younger audiences, but I don't think that ruled out older ones being interested. I think Harry Potter's one of the very few stories that's ever been appealing to 9-year-olds as well as 99-year-olds, so it's a very unique story in that front. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it.
Let's keep the question train rolling on the floor.
Right there.
In November, there's the celebration of the Harry Potter films in Florida. Are you going to be there?
I certainly hope so. Yeah, they just asked me the other day, and it would be fantastic to be there to celebrate the the DVD coming out. And what better place to do it than at the Wizarding World in Orlando? It's a very cool place.
Can I ask you really quickly about something that maybe doesn't come up a lot in forums like this? Fishing. You like to fish. A lot.
Yeah. There are some things you get asked when you're 12, 13, and they stick with you for the rest of your life.
Is that what it is? Yeah?
Kind of. I haven't been fishing in about 4 or 5 years, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But it's still a passion of mine. It's something. All outdoor pursuits are pursuits worth doing, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, it's something that there was a time where I wanted to actually give up acting and become a fishery manager. But just to confirm, that's not what I'm looking to do. Yeah.
We're glad. What's harder, fishing or Quidditch?
got to be Quidditch, isn't it? Really, fishing can be quite docile. Quidditch can be hard work.
Have you ever seen an actual Quidditch match? Because they do happen at like.
I have, yeah, and I must say that it's a very bad representation. It's a lot harder to do it on the actual sitting on a pole essentially for 2 or 3 hours at a time is not good, man. Seriously. I shan't go into detail, but yeah, trust me.
Back out on the floor.
Oh, at the back in the middle. There.
So what's the scariest thing that a fan has ever done?
The what, sorry?
Sorry, the serious thing.
Most seriousness?
Scary.
Sorry, I was like, it's making up a new word.
We're Canadian, we do that.
I like that. Why not? The scariest thing. I don't know. I've had some people tattoo themselves with pictures or my autograph, which is a little scary. I always feel so bad for them. Oh, their mum must hate me. That's what I think. And there seems to be a never-ending list of sexual innuendos with Harry Potter. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to go into detail, but broomsticks, wands, you can figure it out.
Right. On the floor again. Hey.
Hi, lovely.
Michelle, what did you say to her to make her cry?
This is kind of a stupid question, but could you say Potter one last time?
Say one last time. That's very sad. Just like a bit of a Potter. That's cool. I shan't get bored of that anytime soon.
Well, let's talk the future really quickly. You're in a new supernatural style film called Apparition, if I'm not mistaken. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of a horror meets thriller. Also, yeah, with supernatural kind of revolving around this idea of a scientist who's kind of very interested in the supernatural and this idea of connecting science with the supernatural. And I shan't reveal all, but it kind of goes horribly wrong.
Well, that would make a good horror film. Are you a villain again, or are we going to see you as a good guy?
I'm a good guy, kind of. I'm not a villain. I'm not a bad guy. I play a kind of Captain Science dude who's the instigator of all the experiments. So without him, there would probably have never been the horror film. So in ways he's negative, I guess.
Are you gonna go see it? Yeah.
All right, back to the floor.
Hello.
Hey.
I just have one because I'm a big Potter fan, obviously. And just one question. What would be probably the most memorable moment for you in the whole Potter thing?
Yeah. It really is. It's a question that I'm afraid, even with the years of thinking about it, I'm yet to come up with a good answer to. It's a bit like saying what's your favourite memory of your childhood. I guess it's kind of hard to pick one. My answer is unfailingly always the people. The people that I've been lucky enough to work with. Again, not just the cast that you guys know and love, but there's hundreds of crew members that were there every day that kind of raised me in many ways, because I was there as a very young kid. So I feel very lucky to have not only have these guys around me, but also to have their friendship still. Thank you.
You grow up on the films.
Yeah.
You start off as kids. You come into your own.
Sure.
But and I mean, you're kids on the first films, but you got millions and millions of dollars riding on your shoulders with these films. So were the sets a fun place to be?
Yeah, always. We were very blessed to have Chris Columbus early in on. He was the first director who took on the first 2 films, and he's kind of the ultimate guy with working with kids. Yeah, we had Peter Mack doing the second unit, and it was always a fun set. They disguised it very well. The idea that it was a $1 million film never was apparent. It was always just us kind of having a laugh. So yeah, I was very grateful for that.
Who played the most jokes on set out of all of you? Who was the biggest prankster?
That's a tough one. There were quite a few heavy ones. James and Ollie have got a reputation for it. The guy who plays the Phelps. Sorry, the Weasley twins. Yeah. Phelps twins. Matthew Lewis was known. Daniel was known for. I remember one of the early days on set, he changed my phone's language into Turkish, I think. As soon as it's changed into Turkish, you can't change it back. I don't know what language means in Turkish.
So now you speak Turkish?
Fluently.
We got one right here close by.
Don't test my Turkish, please.
I recently saw Planet of the Apes, and I was just wondering, because you say a line from one of the previous Planet of the Apes film, it's a madhouse, it's a madhouse, but I couldn't really hear over the shrieking of the apes, so I was wondering if you could say it again.
It's a madhouse, or something like that. You know, actually, that was a line that we didn't do. I never did that line. That's something that I did in post-production in what we call ADR, which is additional dubbed recording. And I had no idea that that was such an infamous line until the director said it afterwards. He had a great habit of saying, forget the importance of this line and just say it how you would say it. And I would just say, fine, that's easy, I don't even know what you're talking about. So it was good, and I was very honoured to take on some of these infamous lines. I hope I did them justice.
Back on the floor.
Something interesting happening here with the sign and everything. What's about to happen?
Thanks for the sign, girls. That's very sweet. It says "We Heart Tom Felton" for those who can't see.
We have matching shirts too.
I know, I'm loving the shirts, people. It's great. I think Rupert Green has started a trend off with "I Love Tom Felton." Well, I shan't complain. Brilliant.
Okay, so our question was,
We were just wondering if you had a favorite scene or moment to film from the entire Harry Potter franchise.
what was your favorite scene?
Yeah, again, it's very, very tricky. I mean, we had some great moments on the last film, especially with the amount of fantastic actors we all had in one scene. Doing the final sort of showdown between good and evil at Hogwarts for the very last film with, Voldemort sort of leading the Dark Army and Bonnie and so forth, all the other good guys on the other side. So that was really memorable for sure. I had great fun with Daniel in the 6th film when we blew up the bathroom together. Because without ruining the magic too much, a lot of the time when we did spells, nothing happened. They do it later, so it's quite disheartening when you do a spell and nothing happens. So it was nice. They actually rigged this bathroom up, so every time you did a spell, they blew up a toilet or a sink smashed up. So it was really satisfying. It actually felt like the wand was really, really powerful, so it was good.
Michelle's over on our right.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I was just wondering if you got to take any props or souvenirs from the set.
Strictly speaking, no. Just between you and I. No, to be honest with you, I didn't. I did ask. I wanted wands and cloaks and broomsticks, nimbuses and so forth, but they assured me that they're going to go to museums and better places for the likes of yourselves to go and see and check them out. So in hindsight, that's probably a better place than in my kitchen or something like that. As much as I'd love a nimbus hanging on the wall of my kitchen, I mean, who wouldn't? But I managed to get Draco's ring. There were several rings, and they gave me one of those. So that sits pride on my mantelpiece for sure.
It's a good keepsake.
Yeah, I like it.
I know from experience when I was on the set, it was very tempting looking at this. It's such a vast set. There were just books, stacks of styrofoam
Actually,
books.
they did a thing on the last 2 films. Every car leaves the studios was subject to searching.
I'd imagine, yeah.
So we wanted to do this, we never did, but I wanted to handcuff Daniel, the guy who plays Harry, stick him in the boot of the car, put some gaffer tape around his mouth. He was up for it. We never did, unfortunately. That was always something we wanted to do. So yeah, that would have been great to see their face when they opened up the trunk and just saw Daniel. Oh well, we never got around to it, but Hey.
I love you first.
I can barely see you, sweetheart, but thank you very much.
Who's your biggest inspiration on the set?
Well, again, I hate to give you sort of naff answers, but it's very hard to kind of pick one thing out of all these things. We had so many inspirational cast members, as you know. I mean, Daniel was always a huge inspiration to me. He's a couple of years younger than me, but he's always someone that I've always looked up to. He's relentless. He was there 4 times more than any other actor, and he never took it for granted, never got bored, always insisted that we were having, the most amazing time and how lucky we were to be there. So I think all of the young cast had Daniel to look up to. And as we grew older, a lot of the cast, other adult cast as well. I know, Jason Isaacs, who plays my dad, he really sort of took me under his wing, so to speak. And again, a lot of the crew, a lot of the faces and people that you guys unfortunately don't know, they've They really took good care of us over the years, so they were very inspirational.
What did you think about the way the last film, Deathly Hallows Part 2, wrapped up the franchise? Do you feel like it was a good representation of the book when you watched it back?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a huge relief when we heard they were going to make it into 2 films. Our worst case scenario would be that we have to sort of cut the wonderful work that we of Joe. So yeah, the reactions that I've got, I mean, all we really cared about, to be honest with you, is what you guys think, and I haven't heard many complaints, so I'm really happy with it, and it's like, yeah, as long as the fans are happy, then I'm over the moon.
You happy?
Hey, long-time Potter fan here, but I gotta know, and not just you, but other people involved in the movies, what do you think of Twilight?
I've done a few of these conventions, no one's ever asked that one. It's a good one.
Now, careful what you say. Ashley Greene is in your apparition film.
She is. She's a lovely, lovely person. Amazingly talented as well. I hate Twilight. No, I'm kidding. No. Let me clear that up. I'm a fan. My girlfriend is head over heels for Rob, as I'm sure everyone else is, and the books. She's a real fan of Edward Cullen and Belle and all the rest of it. So I've seen the films, have enjoyed them, and can understand thoroughly why teenagers across the world are throwing themselves around at their feet. But I think it's a cool set of films. I'm looking forward to seeing the new one.
Who's the better leading man, Daniel Radcliffe or Rob Pattinson?
You can't compare the two, really. Yeah, I'm always going to say Daniel. Come on. Yeah. Rob's a lovely guy too. I mean, I'm not knocking him. He's a lovely guy and always has been.
Hi. If you could rewrite Draco's story or his character, what would you envision it to be?
Wow, that's a tough one. I dare not touch the wonderful work of Joe, but I'm not sure. Maybe some epic battle at the end. I figured Draco could have taken down Voldemort. I've been having a lot of comments about this hug. It's really bizarre, the whole hug thing. That was never in the script. Or was it in the book, I don't think. And we did about 25 different takes of that, and he only hugged me once. It was a one-off thing that Rafe did without telling anyone, as far as I know. And amazingly, that's the take they used. And it's even funnier how in England or wherever I've seen it in Europe, audiences go completely quiet when they see that. It chills their spine to the core. In America, it's hilarious. Much the same here, I think, as well. So it's nice to see the different reactions. Especially you guys managed to find humor in a lot more than we do. So that's definitely a positive.
Standing up.
My question is, are you happy with the way in the 7th movie that Draco left, or do you wish that he stayed when he made his choice?
Yeah, I mean, it's people are even asking me about what Draco, where he was at the end of the last film. I'm not even sure really. He's caught between, he's really sitting on the fence. Although his loyalties may lie with his family and certainly his mother and father, I think there's something inside him that wants to almost help the school and help Hogwarts. He feels affiliation to that. But ultimately, his hands are tied. He's one of the only kids who doesn't really have a choice. He's got kind of a sad story where he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. So yeah, it's a tough one. I feel very sorry for Draco. I think he had it toughest of them all, I think.
As you were playing him, did you see him as a bad guy? Did you see him as a guy pulled between these two forces?
No,
he's a guy who wanted to be good.
No, he's a typical. He didn't want to be good. Let's be clear. He wasn't a Samaritan. He's definitely a little git still, 100%. But he's clearly a product of his parents, and he's a great wake-up call to anyone who thinks that what they do doesn't influence their children, because he's a great example of that. And he spent his first, I think, 14, 15 years of his life thinking, my dad's a legend. Like, what a hero this guy is. And then you see in the last few films him start to doubt maybe if Lucius is quite the wondrous parental influence that he once thought he was. So yeah, I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I kind of wanted to ask something similar. I was wondering if there was ever a time you didn't like Draco. You know what I mean? Like, did you ever like his character? Did you just like his character at one point?
No, I always loved him, man. He was great. I know it's kind of weird to say, but he's always such good fun to play. And it was nice to be someone who was a world away from me. A lot of the other actors, I feel, didn't get as lucky in the respect that I got to play someone complete polar opposite, or at least what I hope to be a polar opposite of my character. So, no, the worse he got, the more I enjoyed it, really. It's quite a slimy little git, and it's hard not to enjoy playing that.
Right there.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay. First, I wanted to ask, and there's a lot of feedback. Like the other characters and other people from Harry Potter, they're all doing different things. Like Emma's in university and she's doing like fashion lines, and Daniel, oh my god. Daniel's doing like Broadway. So are you planning to do anything else like theater or anything outside of movies?
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping all doors open at the moment. It's kind of an exciting time for me and a very unsure, nervous one, because I've been so used to doing one film and then coming back next year for the next one. So it's a strange sensation now that it's all kind of come to an end, but an exciting one. So yeah, I'm keeping all options open, and theatre is something that I grew up with, so I would happily tread the boards again, so to speak. I recently went to go and see Daniel in New York. I don't know whether any of you have been lucky enough to see his show. It is phenomenal. I mean, it's quite brilliant how everyone cheers for Harry Potter for about 20 seconds, and then he's just another American doing his performance. So yeah, he blew me away, and he continues to inspire me. So yeah, hopefully one day I get to do that for sure.
Hi. Have you ever tried Canadian beer?
That's a good question.
I think I have. I had a great stack of Canadian bacon this morning. You guys don't mess around with your bacon, I like it. I had several rashes. It was yeah, delightful for sure. But yes, no, I'm yet to have the beer. Maybe I'll try and sneak a pint in before I hit the plane.
Out there again?
Yeah, we only have time for about 2 more questions, okay?
Okay. Copy that.
Hello, beautiful.
Well, hello.
I was just wondering, out of all the stars that you've met in your life, who were you the most starstruck to meet?
I wouldn't say starstruck, more just kind of scared. Alan Rickman's a very scary man. and again, a truly inspiring man as well. We mentioned earlier about actors that have inspired me. He's definitely one of them. But he's someone who also holds himself almost with a snake-like presence. So when you're a youngster, that's going to be very, very daunting. So it took me about 6 years to pluck up the courage to say anything more than, "Good morning, Alan." That was about all I managed for a long time. But subsequently, he's one of the funniest men I've ever met, and yeah, he was someone that if I could have half the career that he's had, certainly in villainry, then I would continue that with great pride. Thank you.
Before we take this one, I have one more after that because I see a cute little girl I want to get after this. Hold on.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
So, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been thinking that. I know I used to ship it a lot, and I know you've heard this before, but Draco Harry. Yeah.
Just quickly, I want to get this off my chest. What is the asphyxiation with putting Draco with various different cast members of the... It seems to be an asphyxiation of the...
He was hot.
I take it as a compliment, I really do, but I find it pleasantly bizarre. I mean, I've seen pictures and stories to go along with this dreary, and there's the drug, Dramini. It gets weird. Because someone told me today there's one called Drapple, which is Draco and an apple. Really? I mean, it's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I think it's brilliant that you guys are so creative. But yeah, I think it's very cool, and you know, in all seriousness, the fact that her work has inspired people to write their own stories, as bizarre as they can be, but also paint pictures. I've seen some amazing artwork over the last few days. No, not that kind of artwork. I'm like, where's the joke in that? I'm like, oh yeah. No, that artwork sucks. I don't like that artwork whatsoever. Whoever it is doing that artwork, please stop. Come on. But yeah, it's all good fun, I think. Because when Daniel and I did that, we definitely didn't take pictures. Thank you, I appreciate your interest. Can I ask you a question? Is Jamie Christopher and Matt Sharp in the building?
Yep,
No.
there.
Yes, they are. Everyone, please, can we have a round of applause for our wonderful first assistant director and second assistant director on the last, 7 Harry Potter films, Jamie Christopher and Matthew Sharp. They are here. Please stand up, gentlemen. There they are. In every seriousness, the films would not have been the films they are today without those guys. They've looked after me like brothers, fathers, and very good friends. So I'm very appreciative that they're here, and I'm glad you guys got a chance to see them. Thank you.
All right, I think this is our last question.
Okay, last one. What do we got?
Can I have a hug?
You know what? At the beginning of this show, they said to me, would you mind not doing a host because it slows everything down? And all weekend, as I'm sure some of you know, I've had to say no. But yes, God damn it, let's do it. Just a huge thank you. I was so excited to come here, and you guys have blown me away with your kindness and your enthusiasm. So until next time, thank you so much. Cheers, guys.
Tom Felton, everyone. See you at FanExpo 2012, everyone. Have a great night.
The cheering immediately.
It's a video.